legends of giant animals in the North Woods, sacred legends secretly passed down for generations by indigenous tribal elders. They believe they should be left alone.
So Dano builds this like amazing trap, and it looks to me when I see it, I'm like, oh my God, that thing's gonna work.
We want to get this trap out as fast as we can because Troy is like a marksman for shooting and he'll kill anything. And I want to beat him to the punch.
But we really have no clue really where to put it at this point. I mean, Lake Minnetonka is this ginormous area. During this time, we're talking to Troy and we were trying to get information from him, but he was just like, nope, I'm doing my thing, you do your thing.
Talking to Ashton, he did have extreme concerns. And him being so close with Barry and talking about Barry, it was tough because my son and I are very, very close. We do a lot of stuff together.
I feel like, holy there it is.
All of a sudden that thing came back up again and I sat there and you pulled the gun up and you're ready.
He's just moving along there slowly.
He's almost in position. I could almost hear Barry's voice again saying, this is not the right move.
It came crawling out of the weeds, out of the swamp. It was such a large prehistoric animal. Never seen anything that large coming out of a swamp. I mean, it was massive.
I can't do it. And you know you spent so much time and you had to ask yourself, what is the reason I'm doing it? Call Pete.
All right. At least we know where it's at. That's the important thing. Just make it clear that he's only got a limited time to do it.
Hello?
Pete, Troy Hicks.
Hey.
Can you guys guarantee me you can capture this thing and move him to a safe place?
Yeah.
You got tops 2 days.
I know where he is right now.
I'm staring at him. I decided to let him live, but you have to guarantee me you can get him out into a safe place.
I tracked this thing. I knew exactly where it was going to come out. I could tell you to within a meter of where that thing was going to come out. So I said, just please put it here. This is how it's going to happen. I knew how to push this thing the right direction.
So I know exactly where he's going to drop. So I text that info and I'll start pushing him now.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
When Troy decided not to shoot it, I supported him 100%. I kind of felt that, you know, by taking something so old that was so prehistoric, might have been wrong. And I think it was the right thing to do. Even though we were concerned about danger, it actually never really attacked anything yet, but we were being preemptive.
I just watch him for a little bit and we'll head out.
You got it. He's eating your bait.
Jesus.
He's a hungry guy.
You know, sometimes when you're looking at something, you need to have somebody closer to you to kind of say, maybe that's not the right way to look at things. And it gave me another option on how to look at it. You know, then I felt like I did the right thing, not only for my son, but also for my friend Barry.
I have no idea why he made that decision at the time. I just was like, hey, you know what? I'll take it. All the work that he'd put into hunting this thing the entire year, all of a sudden, came to our benefit.
He decided not to kill it and gave us the location on where to go and helped us understand the migration path.
So I get this call that we know the placement of where this trap is going to go. So I called a friend, Jeff Bryce, and had him come over. He runs the controls on the boom, and we set out to place this trap.
Hey, don't crush it.
We're lucky enough to have Niccum docks helping us, and these are dock sections that were pre-made. So that saved us a lot of time on building. We think that the simplest mechanism is going to be the best. Gets too complicated, things break and don't work.
Get right in the channel part of it.
Over here?
Yeah, so the idea is that this crate is going to be submerged part way. We don't want it to be submerged completely. A turtle has to breathe. So we're going to drop it down to about this level. Hopefully we can find a nice level spot for that to do that. And then the turtle, because we can't be on it all the time, will come up, be able to stick his head up, breathe, and go back down.
So setting this trap took a lot of factors. We had wind, we have the lake, and you're buoyant, so you're not on a solid ground and you're bouncing around and you have to be precise with this crane. You move the wrong lever and you could take someone off the deck of the barge. You got to be very precise and good at what you do, and safety is always first with us.
Are you thinking more to the left?
Yeah, it's a little closer.
What are we using for bait again?
A rotten chicken. I bought some at Costco. It's cheap there, and I left it out overnight. It reeks.
Great. Yeah, right there, perfect. That's perfect. The door is open.
Awesome. Well, I think that's gonna work. I'll check it every day. When that door shuts, we know there's something in it, or we need to reset the door.
Reset it, yeah.
So.
It's day 2 of trapping. The guys are gonna go out and check it. Super excited, waiting by the phone, and hopefully we'll get some good news.
This is the second day, right?
Second day.
And I think the door is shut. This is awesome.
Looks like it's down. We'll see.
So either that
It's gotta
wind
be
last
down.
night knocked it down, or there's something in it.
We'll see. Getting close now.
So we're driving out to check the trap, and we noticed the trap door was closed, so we all got amped up and adrenaline was running. It was kind of fun and exciting not knowing what we're going to pick up.
She's down.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! There's something in it, guys. It's in there. We got him. Let's get him. He's in there. That should be good.
We get up to it, hook up to the trap, and our crane runs about 22,000 pounds at 10 feet out, and it was straining at 80%.
It's in there.
It's moving around.
And it basically jarred the whole barge, which is very hard to do. It is 16 feet wide and 60 feet long, so it's pretty hard to shake that barge.
Bret and Jeff were lifting that thing up. You could hear the crane really stressing because of the weight.
Almost maxing it out on that one.
Is that what that beeping was?
What's that beeping?
I gotta call Pete, you guys. We gotta get him out here.
You guys, hey! Dan caught it. I need you guys' help. We gotta get back to the barn. Will you guys help me out?
Yeah.
It is absolutely gonna himself.
Jeffrey said it maxed out the bar, or the lift.
Okay, you guys, grab the water. We gotta go pick up Dane. Let's get in the truck and let's get going. We gotta get Dane because he's gonna help out, and then we're gonna transport it.
Every time this creature moved, it would shift the barge from left to right. You could feel it move every little jostle that it did. This is a big animal.
Hop in.
So the barge comes in with this giant trap on it. I see the trap immediately. I see it like moving and rocking on the boat. The guys look nervous on the boat.
And we get there and then Maria's like, get the water. And it's just like, what? Sure.
We want to just keep the turtle wet. We just want to keep it healthy. So we've got water to pour on the turtle.
Dane and Maria and Amanda are all like grabbing and trying to help guide this thing. And this thing is just like shaking all over the place. And I hear a noise and I'm like, oh my God, they caught it.
You got room on the left.
Girls, hop up on that box.
You got room on the left.
There, Jeff.
It was exciting and terrifying, and
I'm freaking out. Maria's freaking out, but we're there to help out.
And it's just shaking and shuddering.
Yeah, it's great.
Moving. Unbelievable, the power and the strength in this. I'm surprised that the trap even held.
So I did some research on what would be the best place that is super remote, but still a perfect habitat for it, so it'll be safe. I don't know why, but Troy had a change of heart. Pete called me up and said they got it. Meet me up there.
Woohoo! All right.
Holy crap! You got her!
Elroy, we're spent.
When Pete pulled up in that truck, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the size of that crate. I couldn't believe that they caught the thing.
Woo! Yeah.
We put it in this super remote area, and I didn't even let the cameramen go see where it was, because I don't want anybody knowing where this thing is. Sorry, dude, no filming. We gotta stop filming, because we don't want people to know where this is. So, film crew's gotta get out of here. And it is safe, trust me. Nobody's gonna find this thing.
Okay, I'm here with Elroy. Probably shouldn't be doing this, but had to, felt like we had to document this a little bit. So Elroy, right over there, man, right there.
That thing is a beast.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
Oh, it's so hard.
Hey,
Where the
girls?
girls?
I wouldn't go in.
He's gone. That's enough.
Out of respect for Tom, I didn't want it to be videotaped, especially, showing where it was being released and everything. And so Pete was just going to keep the camera on me. But then I saw the girls struggling with it, and I just ran down there to help. And yeah, so we just got a little bit of it.
I really regret not taking more pictures at that time, because it was amazing to see Amanda, Maria, and Elroy with that thing. It was amazing.
We decided, as a result of kind of how this all went down and kind of the whole evolution of this adventure that we went on, that we wanted to do what was right for the Anishinaabe tribes in Minnesota and Wisconsin and make an offering to it to thank it for being there. And so I asked everybody if they would go do an offering down where we put it. We decided to allow the camera crew to come to that spot as long as they signed agreements and confidentiality and non-disclosure agreements that they couldn't reveal to anybody where this was at.
It's in a safe place now. Nobody will ever find it here. And we're making an offering in honor of Anishinaabe, Native American history.
I think this is the best thing for it, just to let it be.
I think this is best.
We offer this tobacco to the Mikinaak.
For everybody who has a passion for something, there's just something innate that draws them to it. And for me, as a young child, I was drawn to nature and specifically to turtles. There's nothing more beautiful than being out in the woods or in a stream or in a pond or lake and seeing these animals for what they are in their natural habitat. When many other types of animals came and went, turtles persisted. This is just a group that people should hopefully love, and hopefully they should want to help them persist on this planet for the next 1 million to 2 million years.
Yeah, right on, man.
That sounds good.
I can't thank you enough. All right.
Appreciate it. Take care.
So we do the release successfully. We feel really good about it. So I wait a couple of months and I run down just to check in to make sure it looks like the environment's all good, and I'm shocked. The whole area is dried up. We've had a terrible drought. One little puddle in the middle of it, and there's all kinds of game trails, animal trails up to it, including some bear tracks. This is really bad news. I call up Tom, and we had previously tried to go up to a powwow up there, and unfortunately we got tangled up into a big tornado and we couldn't go to it. So Tom said, hey, we've got another powwow, come up to that and we can visit.
He welcomed us, and he wanted us to see the full experience and see what their culture was all about.
I've not spoken to Tom since the last meeting, the incident at the thing. I'll be honest, to tell you the truth, I was very apprehensive. I really didn't want to go. In fact, I know I really didn't want to go, but it's like, okay, I told Pete I'd go.
We get up there to the powwow, and I am like stunned by what I see. Tom said something to me beforehand that was really important. He said, Pete, when you start to hear the drumming, close your eyes for the first 30 seconds and just take it all in and just connect with the whole thing and just see what it feels like. I'm going to talk to you about that later. So I do that when it starts, and then I open up my eyes, and I swear to God, it was like a spiritual experience. It was like, I felt like I could have been back 500 years in time, because I'm looking at all these Native Americans in their regalia from different tribes, and they're doing all these ceremonial dances, and the drumming is just pulsing in you. You feel the drumming inside of you.
Oh, here comes Tom.
People couldn't have been more nice to us. It affected you, and it's like, wow, this is impressive. This is very cool. These people are keeping something that's very important to them alive.
And so we get to experience the powwow. We get to see Tom and his reservation doing what's important to him. It was an amazingly powerful experience that we went through up there.
And it was really, truly, it was amazing.
That was awesome, man. I love
And after Tom was done dancing, he came over to us. We went to a quiet area.
Well, Tom, you know what? We came up here for a couple of reasons, man. I'm really glad that you agreed to get together with us again, and your powwow, that was like an unbelievable experience. It was way beyond what I thought it was going to be. Yeah. Really. I know that you and Troy had like a big encounter, and the last time we met, it wasn't so great. And Troy, tell him what happened, what ended up happening, because Tom doesn't know yet.
I tracked him down. You knew I would.
Yeah.
And my son asked me, he goes, are you sure you're doing what Barry'd want? And against no offense to you, but Barry was a far larger influence on my life. So I backed off.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that's good. We put it someplace we thought it would be completely safe, and now there has been a massive drought. And I went back there and looked, and it was dried up, completely dried up. And we wanted to come up here and ask for your advice, because I really, really want to go make sure that it's okay and we didn't make a huge mistake in this whole thing. What are your feelings about that?
I don't think he's there anymore. I think he's gone. They say if you take a turtle from where his home is at and you remove him and put him someplace else, he'll spend the rest of his life trying to get back to where he came from. You can look, but you're not going to find him there. He's going to be gone.
Well, I think, wouldn't you guys feel better if we went back and looked?
Well, I could find him.
Well, he's not going to be there, though.
No, he's not.
He's not going to just settle for any pond or any
There's a lot of
lake.
water around there.
Yeah. He might hold up there for a while, but he wants to get back to where he came from.
Are you guys good now?
Yeah.
I'm good, Tom. We talked, and then we, turned the mic off, and we had some personal time, and he's actually a really nice guy. He's actually pretty funny.
Troy, much to his credit, was very good about saying, hey, I learned something from you, and and he looked at Tom's perspective, and Tom was very gracious with Troy. By the end of the evening, those two were kind of buddying around. So we get Tom's blessing basically to go back looking for it, and he's like, you're not gonna find it, it's not gonna be there anymore, it's gonna have moved on, it's gonna have gone back to where it was to begin with.
And he was right, it had moved on, and we went out searching very nearby.
Pete asked me to start tracking this thing down. You have to segment the area. It's not gonna go too deep, and you just keep making the grids of this lake. You just start droning, and it takes forever.
So he tracks and gets an idea of where it's at. We narrow it down, and then me, Dane, Troy, and Amanda get together, and we go out searching.
You got a couple weeks into this before you can even blink.
I'm in a kayak, and I've never tipped the thing over before. And I think I was wearing a life preserver, so I think I'd be okay, but I was a little nervous. It's like, whoa, boy, I hope I don't run into that thing. It could tip me over.
Good luck.
Amazingly, Amanda had the balls to get on a paddleboard and to go out, and then I operated a drone, and Dane and Troy stayed on the side of the shore, and they spotted and they looked to see if they could see anything, and then we would direct her. So we're doing this whole thing, and she's paddling around, and we're looking. It's taking a lot of time for us to do it.
I'm remembering, when we let the Mikinaak go, and the size of it, it was ginormous. I've never seen anything so big before. I look down, and then I see some bubbles.
Oh my God.
And then I freak out. I see this huge big shadow, and I'm like, I'm sure it's it. I'm in so much shock, I fall off. Then I get back up, and I'm trying to scramble to my paddleboard that's already gone way out in the distance. I'm shaking now, reliving this.
I hear her yell something, and I get the drone on her right away, and she's looking down. I can't see what's going on with the drone, and all of a sudden she freaks out and goes flying off of the paddleboard into the water. We can hear her from the shore screaming and yelling and struggling and paddling to get back up onto the paddleboard. So we end up getting into shore. She comes in, and she comes walking up, and she's like, I saw something. It freaked me out. I think I've got something on the drone, and so me, Amanda, and Elroy go back to the man cave to scrub through the footage and look at it and see what the drone shows us.
I'm really excited to go back and see what that was, because there was something in the water down there, and it was big.
All right,
Let's see what we
so
got.
let's see here. So I'm just going along the edge here, and this is the first thing that like stood out, right? I mean, that looks like a giant turtle shell, right?
Yeah.
And then so I zoom in on that, and I look over here, it's like, no, that's not it. Man, we've done so much of this in the last 2 weeks. It's unbelievable. So just working this edge along here, and I see something else right there, nothing. And then we go over here, nothing, and then right there.
Yeah, there's something there for sure.
Zoom in there.
So we zoom in.
There it is.
Wait, I lost it, right there.
Oh my gosh.
Look at
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
That's a giant.
Right there.
Wow.
Right here.
Yeah, look at that.
There's the shell.
Wow.
And then we got the head. You can see the point of the head here. There's a bunch of like algae and stuff like that that's kind of sitting
He's got his head in the weeds.
That's massive. Look at the drone.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Like miraculously lucky reflection on the water
Right.
to create some sort of scale to this whole thing. And that's massive.
Holy smokes.
Oh my gosh. And Amanda, now I know why you fell off your...
Right? Now you know why I was shaking when I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You know what? We gotta call Troy.
That's pretty cool.
And Dane and get them over.
We got it. It's awesome to see it. It's safe. And so I immediately get on my phone, call up Troy and Dane and go, let's get together at the campfire.
All right, you guys, thanks for coming. You know what? Amanda and Elroy will confirm we just looked at the footage and we got a picture of it. Tom was right. It didn't stay where we put it, but there's like one really important question to ask. Are we all good leaving it be now, Elroy?
Let it be. Like what Tom said right from the very beginning.
Yep, I say let it be.
Let it be.
Let it be.
Troy.
I'll let it be as long as it does what it's supposed to do. It stays away.
We're the worst. So we get done with the campfire, and I tell everybody, we got one more thing to talk about today. Let's go back up to the man cave, and let's get out the jar of wisdom.
Save the Mikinaak.
Save the Mikinaak.
Thanks, Troy.
Thanks, Troy.
Dane, will you get the jar of wisdom?
Sure. Yeah. The jar of wisdom is it's a sacred, long-time tradition in the man cave, and there are many questions in here, and somebody picks one, and it's a question that doesn't necessarily have a right or a wrong answer, but it sort of digs at who you are and what you think. We will have Amanda pick a question, and she answers first, and then we go around the room.
Okay.
Answer honestly.
Oh. But she had more than one.
Would you go on another adventure to find a very large and dangerous animal? Absolutely, I would.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I suppose.
Why you suppose?
Only if you can kill it, right?
I'm not commenting.
I'm in.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I'm definitely in. So hang on, I gotta get something.
Should we be worried?
I don't think so.
We should always be worried.
How many months of physical therapy is this going to cost me?
Well, he is a chiropractor and he does like to drum up his own business. So
Self-serving.
I know, a great clinic.
Depends on how
You guys
heavy
are
it is.
ruthless, man. Somebody reached out because of our experience of the Mikinaak and what we did. They got wind of what we were doing up here in Minnesota, and they asked if we would help.
It's Jed. Heard you guys have been out in Minnesota hunting giant turtles, and was wondering if you wanted to help me out with finding Snake Zilla. It's a massive Burmese python that's been decimating the Everglades.
And I am flying down the Tamiami Trail right now towards the Everglades. Gonna go python hunting.
When I first saw him, he was from left side to right side across the road the whole way. And it started moving. I grabbed it by its right above its vent, and I couldn't put my fingers together. But the snake drugged me across the road, and it curved its body and torqued itself around a tree and drug me.
You're talking about a massive snake, hundreds of pounds.
Hundreds of pounds, over 15 foot. Run till you have to. All right, go for it.
You know, a big 16-foot python. I've been tagged by one before. You just bleed just at a range.
Oh, dude,
yeah.
Focus.
There you go.
So there.
Yeah.
I got a couple.
Pretty hard.
Is he squeezing pretty good? It gives you some. What do you say we keep moving?
Yeah. This is creepy, guys.
Yeah. And it drugged me across the dirt road and over to the edge of the water, which is where I let go. So.
Oh my gosh.
You just stay away from the bitey end, and then usually you're all right.
Ooh. This is an invasive species down there that's decimating the Everglades down there. There's many people that have seen this snake. He had it in his hands at one time, and he couldn't hold it. He was by himself. He was waiting for people, and it just started pulling him. So he, as he said in that, he let go of it. It has wiped out the bird populations down there. It's wiped out the raccoons, deer, everything. And you know, the one we caught that night, he said is probably an offspring of that giant snake that they call down there. It's rumored to be called Snake Zilla. It is like destroying the ecology of the Everglades. Those guys, Jed and his buddy Ryan, the other guy's a biologist, and he's like, they're destroying the Everglades right now. So he said, you know what? Come on down and help us find it. Troy, this is something that has to be, when you catch one of those, it has to be dispatched because it's invasive and there's nothing you can, you could catch it and try to send it back to Burma or to South America, but they won't take it because they now have like viruses and stuff in them that would infect their populations of the naturally occurring snakes down there. I was out in the Everglades with those guys in the dark, and it's scary. What Jed said is, he said, I'll keep everybody safe, but just stay away from the bitey end.
Okay. Is Snake Zilla that big?
Yes, that's how big it is.
Wow.
Yeah. They said that Snake Zilla is at least 15 feet. This one was, like they said, 15 and a half feet, 16 feet long. Just that one we caught, which was 6 feet long, scared the living daylights out of me. And when it wrapped around my arm, it like choked my arm off, okay? And the guy had to unwrap it eventually. No, this is no joke, you guys.
I'll tell you something, the person that looked the most scared was Elroy.
When I see a snake, I freak out. I scream like a little girl.
Well, I'm sure that the camera crew would love that.
If there's one person I'm gonna make sure is down there on the front lines when we go searching for Snake Zilla, it's gonna be the great and mighty Elroy.
No, I'm like Indiana Jones.
Oh, okay.
He hated snakes too.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
I'm in good company.
We'll get you a vest and a hat.
And a whip. And a whip, yeah.
There you go.
I was surprised, man. Everybody was like, oh yes, heck yes, we are in. Looks like we're going to the Everglades.